Walk away from the lies of your country being a zoo. A zoo is much better. Walk away from the lies of Nigeria being a jungle. That flatters you. If Nigeria must become, it will be because you walked away from the idiocies that have assured that you are divided. And those who benefit from this madness are as united as they have ever been. They are as united as you would ever see Nigerian politicians. I told you, do not die in their war. Yeah? Their wars are practically done. It's our war that is about to start. And the sooner you recognize your fellow victims and stop the idiocies and madness of the bigotry that have divided all of you and rendered you incapable of fighting for yourselves. Recognize the commonalities of the afflictions of each and every one of the people you are daily assailing and fighting when you should have been facing your true enemies. I've said all that I need to say on this subject, but I'll call you to action once again as I have done, because I'm not just about railing. I'm not interested in railing. I'm interested in seeing a Nigeria that changes. Change in Nigeria means revolution, because there is nothing salvageable about the system as it is. But that revolution becomes more and more difficult to achieve every day because you've embraced hatred instead of embracing the reality of where you are. The easiest and most peaceful pathway to that revolution is for you to get involved in the electoral process, because outside of that, the only game left in town are your guns. But I'm not saying get involved in this present fraud. I've told you times without number. Get involved by demanding that the electoral process be taken away from thieves and crooks, so that the likes of Yakubu will not come in the middle of the night in 2027 to be telling you to go to court, because the court they are telling you to go to is already an accomplice in the evil that has overtaken the land. Randy Peter is doing a fantastic job, and shame on all of you who have not found the grace to amplify the work that young man is doing. He will probably be the one, if you follow him, if you amplify his word, that will save you from having to carry guns in due course. Because what is obvious is that this cannot continue. Something has to give somewhere. It cannot be that the cost for repairing a bridge, the third mainland bridge as announced by Umahi, is probably enough to build a brand new one with some change left over. It cannot be, and then all of you will just keep quiet, and then we'll just move on and be waiting for 2027. That is not the action of conscious people, and certainly animals will not allow that in the jungle. So you are not a jungle. It is not possible that you continue to sit down, because you sat down and you did nothing about the Calabar Coastal Road. They've moved it a notch further. Now they are telling you they want to spend all that money to repair third mainland. How many times do they repair third mainland, for heaven's sake? And then Keyamo is telling you it requires 702 billion to renovate Muritala Mohammed. How much would it take to build a brand new one? And you are all quiet. Instead of focusing on that, you are busy abusing his Igbo, his Omo Igbo, his Yoruba, all kind of idiocy comes out of your mouth constantly, instead of focusing on the issues that should concern you. I have said enough for one day. More than half a word has been said today. Your capacity to hear is another ball game entirely. But I go to my bed at night, sleeping well in the knowledge that history will absolve me. I've done my bit. I did not keep quiet when it was more convenient to be quiet. You need to get off your lazy asses and do something about your situation, or your children will inherit the slavery that is already around your neck. Oh yeah, this is the part where I say goodbye to you. I'll be looking forward to seeing you next week. Oh, if I say Nigeria is not a jungle, and I say Nigeria is not a zoo, what then is Nigeria? Increasingly, I have come to the conclusion that Nigeria can only be likened to an evil forest. It's a place where abnormalities have been normalized, where the people have stopped being shocked, where the government has stopped being bothered by public opinion, where the norms of the society has collapsed. That is what we've become, an evil forest. Anything goes, a place of perversion and impunity. But it doesn't have to be like this, and it shouldn't be. In being the way we are failing an entire race. We, Nigerians, we are failing an entire race by our refusal to find common purpose and save ourselves. What shall be said of you by the time they are in the way?
Nigerians are too docile. They are not asking questions, Esther. They are not. I've told you here that if I have my way, I will open their head and put certain things that will make them to react, so that all of us will enter the street. That's the only way this government will listen to us. They are not taking us serious because they saw that we are docile. Have you seen any major protests since APC came into office, apart from NSAS? I mean, any major protest than what they did in Ojota in 2012? Have you seen any?
What about the fearless protest?
Which one? We had
10 days of rage.
Where did it end? Who and who? This one that Showeda and a few of his this in winter. I'm talking of a protest in the likeness of that one they did in Ojota. Where all the big men came out. Look at all the elder statements that came out for that protest. They went to bring them from their homes. Ben Nwabeze and Co. Tunji Bretuet, all of they were there. Even our clergymen, Adeboye and Co. Bakare, Tunde Bakare. Did you see them? Since Buhari and these APC people came into it, have you seen any major protest like that, Esther, with all the hardship? That will tell you what is going on. Is either some people have been bought or they have been hypnotized. It cannot be far from the two. Some people have been bought to keep quiet. Even our clergymen who are supposed to be leading the people. You imagine if Adeboye mobilizes his members. The one at Ota mobilizes his own member. Grass Embassy mobilizes his own member. And they enter the streets. Esther, will the police and army jail all these people? Will they arrest all these people? Rather, government will say, please, what is the problem? What is the problem? You cannot jail that number of people. You can't.
Funny
rather, you'll be begging them to cool down.
Most of the religious leaders were vocal in 20.
They were, yes.
But now their voices are quiet.
Quiet. Even when this is the time to rescue Nigeria. Yes, you didn't see anybody to rescue Nigeria. Esther, you can see what I'm talking about. Complete deceit. And I know that as at that time, Tinubu being the champion, he mobilized all these people and deceived them into that protest. Now the real reason for protest is here. Nobody's talking. Nobody's talking, Esther. Nobody. Imagine a president that people are begging you, come and declare state of emergency here. We are dying, we are dying. He just looked the other side and traveled abroad. He traveled abroad. And yet nobody is reasoning again. Esther, nobody. We are in a democracy. People just look the other side as if all is well. And when we talk here, they say you are criticizing Tinubu, you don't like anything good. What is that good thing he has done?
Barrister,
Esther, what is that good thing he has done?
All is not well.
No, all is well, all is well.
My
all
neck
is well.
don't long. My neck don't long.
All is well.
Someone must challenge you. Look, if I have a company that is earning that I won't pay that money. And if you come after me, I will fight your government hands on. Someone needs to come out and fight you because you are not behaving like you are a god, and you are not God. You are just one illegitimate president. And someone needs to tell you the truth. You impostor in Aso Rock. This is getting too much. All of you and that miserable gospel Akpabio led Senate. All of you have deliberated on this bill and even is proposing it. You all are going mad. You need to visit psychiatric hospital for checkup. For one, someone needs to challenge. This recklessness is becoming too much. Nigeria belongs to all of us. We cannot fold our hands and watch a few of you turn this country to something else. It will not stand. It will not stand. It is not acceptable, this 20% tax. This is total madness, and you all need to visit psychiatric hospital for checkup. It's getting too much. Everything, you are just choking Nigeria from all corners. Just look at how people are committing suicide on a daily basis. The frustration is becoming too much. And all you think of is how to make money, how to exploit the people. Nigerians, enough is enough. We must begin to challenge the status quo. This is not acceptable and it should not be acceptable. This 20% tax cannot stand and it should not stand. We should not accept it.
In 2003, Olusegun Obasanjo increased petroleum prices from 23 naira to about 40 naira. Labour kicked against it. And Olusegun Obasanjo talked about a petrol tax. The petrol tax, he said then, was to be able to cushion the effect of subsidy. So he claimed that he had removed some portion of the petrol subsidy, so amounting to about $2 billion US then, and that tax of 1 naira, 1.5 naira for 2003 on every liter of petrol sold was to be able to pay for the subsidies that they are graduating and gradually easing out. President Tinubu were part of those that kicked against it. Labour kicked against it. They went on strike. After the strike, they finally agreed on 34 naira per litre. The petrol subsidy, the first time they talked about it in early 2000, was to be, the petrol tax was to be able to pay for subsidy. But they have put it in the bill this time around. And why I'm against TUC is that, and honestly, I think Labour and Labour unions in Nigeria should have a research department that at least checks most of these laws and scrutinizes them, so that it's not when the media is reporting it, they are now coming in retrospect to look at it. If they had had a research department that scrutinized most of this law, they would have pointed it out when the tax debate was going on.
Yeah.
So for me, their arguments now is like medicine after death is not valid. But the point I'm trying to make is this. Olusegun Obasanjo introduced the petrol tax then to be able to pay subsidies. Today, President Tinubu has said subsidy gone, despite the fact that after saying subsidy gone, he still pays subsidy till September 2024. So when they say subsidy was gone, then the NNPC was lying to themselves, government was lying to themselves then, subsidy was being paid. And now, NNPC's claim that 7 trillion is the worth of that subsidy paid in the course of 1 year. Why they were lying to themselves that subsidy was gone. So now that they finally said subsidy is gone, you are now telling Nigerians, after you told Nigerians that once you remove subsidy, the savings on the subsidy will be used to build roads and build everything and all of that. Now you're not telling Nigerians that after you said subsidy is gone and you promise them that the savings will be used to do road infrastructure and everything, you are not telling them to now pay an extra tax to now do those roads you claimed before that the subsidy that was removed will be used to do. To make the argument more interesting, the government is now telling us that out of the close to 200,000 kilometers of road we have, about 60,000 kilometers are tarred, and we have an infrastructure deficit we need to fix. Really interesting argument. I applaud you for that argument. But this government also forgets that Minister Umahi came out to say that 15 trillion will be enough to fix all the pre-existing projects of roads that have not been done. But guess what this government used the 15 trillion to do? You went to start a new road called the Coastal Road, which we all spoke about. Or you can say, okay, it has been in the works for over 40 years. You started that new road when you could have easily used that 15 trillion to fix all the existing roads you have before you started a new road of about close to how many kilometers? Over 700 kilometers. And that's why yesterday, when I was talking about cost-benefit analysis, a lot of people thought I was joking. You had the chance, even if you had that money somewhere, which I know the government did not have to expend, but you could have taken out facilities to be able to fix the pre-existing road. We would have applauded the government. But you went ahead, you started a new road that's incurring a lot of cost, and you leave the other ones, and you say you're going to tax Nigerians, a 5% tax on petrol. For those that will quickly make arguments, and I can read every argument people are going to make this morning. They're going to cite South Africa and say they pay petrol taxes. Oh yeah, but South Africa also pays subsidy on their fuel. Most of the top African countries in the first 4 brackets in terms of GDP, high GDP in Africa, they pay some form of subsidies. And for those that are comparing Nigeria and South Africa, heck yeah, you want to compare how much South Africa spends on infrastructure, you want to compare the budget size of South Africa. In case you want to know, the budget size of South Africa is over $125 billion. That's about 2.2 trillion rand. Our budget is just about 54 trillion. That's about $36 billion. South African budget, if you were to graduate it to Naira times, about 199 trillion. So when we make this comparison, let's go for the arguments.
Here is proof that Bola Tinubu is determined to make sure that you become even poorer than he met you. Already, he has made you 3 times poorer than he met you. But he's not stopping here. He probably wants you to become 5 times poorer. 2 huge developments this past week. I'm going to take these 2 stories from West Africa Daily. By the way, shout out to them. 5% fuel tax. Tinubu's government keep inventing new ways to punish Nigerians. His obsession with revenue, not by building wealth though, but by taxing Nigeria, is pushing import prices even higher through inflated customs valuation. We'll take them one by one, but before then, let me make it very clear to you, this man is not acting alone. Remember, he's got the backing of the Western Empire, and they're the ones who are instructing him to do this. And that's because they already saw him as somebody who is obsessed with generating revenue, not by building wealth though, for by taxing its already poor citizens. And that's why when they tell you about IGR, I just laugh. 5% fuel tax. I remember all those climate change summits that he usually attends. He's attended a couple of them since he took office, and he usually goes there to just sleep or deliver those incoherent speeches. But the main crux is that after that, he's been instructed to come and punish you, because one of the reasons why he has introduced this fuel tax is because he wants to discourage fossil fuel. They call it unclean energy, and encourage clean energy, which is laughable because we have that so-called unclean energy in abundance, and at the stage that we are in terms of our civilization, we actually need it. But instead, the Igbo people who have gone past this stage are encouraging him to discourage what we have in abundance just because they want to punish us. So now from next year, you will see further increase in the price you're already buying petrol. Right now, people buy between 800 something naira to 900 something naira, almost 1,000. So from next year, between 40 naira and 50 naira will be added to it because you want to drive revenue. Now, this revenue, remember, when it comes in, there is nothing the average Nigeria is benefiting from the so-called revenue. It goes straight back into funding Tinubu's lifestyle, that of his family and his cronies. So if you're already complaining that you're buying fuel high prices this year, wait for the real sheke next year. The second story, now customs, rather than relying on the actual price of what you're importing to value their own tax, they are now being encouraged to value your import at their discretion. Like they can disregard your official invoice, how much you paid for what you're importing, and bring their own valuation and tax you upon that their own valuation. It is a dirty secret that encourages zero transparency. And of course, you know that apart from claiming to be driving revenue, this is also a way of settling his boys, because now bribe will increase, right? Because rather than follow the official channel with zero accountability, with extortion, you rather go through the back door and know that you're paying bribe, which I am sure the customs officers will be happy, more than happy to welcome. And of course, you know what that does to you as an importer. You're definitely going to shift the responsibility to the final consumer, because now them go here. For instance, if you haven't bought a car now, I just pity you, because any car that you're already complaining is too expensive, is like 20 million, is like 30 million. The rest assured that very, very soon you could be buying that car of 20 million, 30 million, and that one of 30 million up to 40 and 50 million. Again, none of this is designed to better your life, because a leader who is actually serious, who has foresight, would create wealth to increase revenue of the country. But this one doesn't. He is extracting from the one already. He's not expanding it. He's extracting, he's squeezing it to put it in the pocket of a few Nigerians. And the reason is very simple. When they extract this money in the system and put it in the pocket of a few Nigerians, it'll be easy for the vast majority who will now be poorer than they were to be controlled, so that when the election comes, it'll be easy for them to come and give you 5,000 naira, because you will need it to vote for them. Even if you reject voting for them, they will rig it, and because you're already poor, just like the people they gathered at that digital summit in Abuja a few days ago, you will collect the 5,000 naira to come and defend them. IGR is not and should never be the KPI of any government. You can't rely on IGR, because the IGR that doesn't translate in improving the lives of the people is not to be encouraged. There is no way your life has improved since Bola Tinubu got into office. Businesses are struggling. The laundry service that I used to patronize before Tinubu, when I give them my clothes before, I will be begging them literally to wash my clothes now and bring to me These days, when I go there to give them my clothes, if I give them in the morning, in the evening, they already called me to say, Baba, your clothes not ready. One day, I started wondering what was going on, and I asked them, and I discovered that these people no longer have customers. So some days, it will just literally be me that will bring my clothes, and which is why they will just wash it. So businesses are struggling, because if they raise their prices too high, they will not see anybody. If they bring it so low, they will not make any profit from their business. So people are abandoning their businesses because of the policies this man is introducing. Yet he has praise singers who are singing praises for him. You see, this country, if we don't wake up and say enough is enough, one day you will get up in the morning and you no longer have strength. Since you are running away because you are scared, one day, whatever you are scared of will meet you in your house when you haven't even done anything and consume you. You better wake up now. Wake up.
All right. Like I congratulated Tinubu last week, I'm here again to congratulate President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I mean, for also introducing the new tax on fuel consumption. So for every fuel you purchase now, you're going to pay 5% for that fuel. For instance, if you buy 50,000 naira fuel in a month, what that means is that 5% of 50,000, which is 2,500 naira, will be charged and be remitted to the government. If you buy fuel of 100,000, what that means is that you're going to remit like 5,000 to the government. Now do the mathematics, cumulative mathematics for 1 year. Then you imagine what you are giving to the government. You know, we told you guys that the only thing this government knows how to do is to tax people. Just to tax people. Life is difficult for people. People can't even eat. People are barely surviving. Businesses are collapsing. But what this government is interested in is to milk the people. Everything out of the people. Anything that they can tax. If they can tax the air we breathe, they will tax. And yet, this is the government that you APC people are supporting, and you're even fighting to go and vote for. We'll never see anything. We'll never see anything. Nice one.
Good to our viewers all over the world, and welcome back to Local Journal. We've listened to what Nigerians are saying already, and to be very honest, our situation is very pathetic because Nigerians are docile. Nigerians cannot stand on their rights, and Nigerians cannot challenge their government to say enough is enough. If we don't wake up from our slumber, and if we don't stand up to wake up and change the narrative, to challenge the government and to tell them that they cannot continue to deride and take us for granted, there is no way the government is going to listen to our plight and is going to listen to our cry, because this whole taxation thing will continue until it gets to Nigerians and Nigerians can no longer breathe. And that time it might be too late, because it's going to take so many lives, and it's going to like crumble so many businesses, and it's going to ruin so many futures. You understand? And this is the reason why Nigerians are supposed to do what is right, instead of us channeling our time and our energy into fighting for good governance and into holding the government accountable. All we do is to fight ourselves on the social media, instead of telling the governments that enough is enough, that taxing us without using or seeing the devilness of this tax and all this taxation and all this money you're borrowing. Nigerians would rather be tribalistic and rather fight themselves and divide themselves on social media, or look for a way to support the incumbent government and look for a way to just throw banters at themselves while their future is taken away. Look at what the situation of things is currently in Nigeria. Let's look at the current situation of things in Nigeria. Is it palatable? People are not even able to eat on daily basis, but yet the government is still hell bent on taxing Nigeria to stupor. What is this? You remove subsidy and you say you're going to bring back the money you removed. You're going to bring the money, the subsidy you remove, into like helping Nigerians and into bettering the lives of Nigerians. But Nigerians are not seeing the effect of the subsidy that had been removed. Rather, you're looking for a way to widen the tax net and to make Nigerians poorer and to make Nigerians even more like hopeless, without any hope, or without anything to hold on to. Because in the end of this whole taxation thing and the end of this whole Tinubu government, I don't think Nigerians will have business to call their own again. Because I can see that businesses are already crumbling because they cannot withstand the tax this government and this administration is putting on them. There are so many ways to like make money and to even like kind of develop the country. Of course, this was the system he was running in Lagos, and people were saying he was developing Lagos, and that is the same thing he's bringing to the center now. And people are tired of it, but they cannot wake up. They cannot. This is a wake-up call for Nigerians. This is a wake-up call to tell Nigerians that if you don't stand to challenge your government and to tell this government that enough is enough, there is no way they are going to stop this, because this government is not going to stop anytime soon. They are hell-bent on making sure that Nigerians can no longer breathe again. But Nigerians will have to stand up to say enough is enough. Can you drop what you have to say in the comment section? And if today is your first time to visit our channel, please kindly like, share, and subscribe to our channel.